Pierce here. Piercing thoughts review. I just watched Anona, and it came out the theater, and I'm reviewing it now. I'm a bit late to this movie, and I saw it just off of straight up recommendation because I had no efforts, no plans to see this movie, but because of how much good press it had and because of how interesting it seemed, I went and saw it. I have a lot of thoughts about Anona. First off, I'll say this: it was definitely a good movie. I enjoyed it. Everyone acted great. The stars, everyone did a really good job. I get the Oscar buzz behind this movie, but also I guess I don't. I mean, there's a lot of reasons. Let me just start. Okay, so in case you don't know about this movie, Anona is about sex worker, a really expensive like escort who works in New York, and she gets bought for a week to be exclusive with this one Russian guy who she falls in love, we'll say, with, and they go and get married in Vegas. And the movie's about the family coming in for this Russian guy who's kind of like a big family. Are they into drugs? I think so. Are they into guns? I think so. I'm not really too sure, but it's not important. This big family's like, you can't be married, and they're gonna get it annulled, and they're trying to break up this happy couple. That's what the movie is. So it sounds like a romantic comedy. It looks like a romantic comedy. It is not a romantic comedy. There's parts in here where it's kind of funny, but then it's really not. The movie is like broken into like three distinct parts, honestly. The first part's like all whimsical, kind of. It's like we're having fun, like very debaucherous. And then the middle part's like very like oof, like a grind, like a sobering grind of just something happening. And then the last third's just terrible. Like in terms of like the story is breaking and you like it's the ship is finally going beneath the waves. And they keep showing you the ship even after it's gone into the waves. Sorry, I think I'm gone into metaphor land, but this movie has a way of really like showing, not telling at all. It doesn't skip a lot. If someone were to make a movie about me reviewing this movie, they would probably show me watching the movie and then skip to me here in front of the computer reviewing this movie. If it were this movie or directing me doing that, it would show me actually getting into my car, turning on music, talking to myself on the way back home, and what I'm talking about, the music I chose, and like the long, slow drive all the way back to my house and then recording this video. Like it doesn't like the time in the real world almost feels like the time you're waiting in the movie. A character says, "I'll be there in 10 minutes." He's on the phone. We sit there the whole in that room with the characters who have to wait the 10 minutes, seeing what happens for like pretty much I think the full 10 minutes. The movie has a way of showing you what's going on in real time. And it makes it like it's like uncomfortable how long you have to wait. It's like a slog. I mean, like a good one, but sheesh, it makes you suffer that time. You know what I'm saying? It's tough. And I appreciate the movie for that, but because it makes you feel something, having to see what every little stitch the character goes through 100% of the time. But also, it's like, can we cut? Can we get to where they're just in the car? Do we have to see this part? And that's the way the film wanted it. Um, a few things to say too off the bat. This movie has a lot of nudity. There's no way around it. I had this warning to people who maybe weren't ready for that, or who maybe get a bit uncomfortable watching other nude people or nude acts happening in a scene, and you're maybe sitting next to someone who, who's not comfortable with that. I mean, I don't know, especially with the lead character, Mickey Madison. I'm not gonna complain too much to be honest, but also it could be a bit uncomfortable to be honest. I don't know, watching stuff like that in a dark theater with strangers. I don't know, maybe I'm the only one. I don't, let me know how you feel down in the comments about watching things like that in a movie. But anyway, the movie has a lot of it. Has a lot of salacious type things. It's definitely an R-rated movie. But it's not, it doesn't go crazy with it. I mean, it does there is a lot, but given the scene and given the subject matter, everything kind of does make sense. It does not like a in a super gratuitous way that feels like the movie is just trying to be edgy. No, it actually kind of makes sense. And it makes sense for the characters, it makes sense for them to show us this stuff. It makes sense. That being said, that's just a fair warning. I don't know how your relationship is with your loved ones or or friends or whatever to go see that on screen, but I feel like that's a fair warning to anyone who's like, I'm just gonna see how there may be a flash or something. No, you see some stuff in this movie. There's some stuff. Um, our main lead, Mikey Madison. I already mentioned how she's like. I'm just gonna. She's like distractingly attractive, but she's a really great actress. There's a couple scenes in here where it kind of shows her acting strengths. The film's on her back. Honestly, it's all about her. Her and this other guy whose name is Borzovich? I butchered that. I'm sorry, Yuri. I think it's Yuri. He's a great actor too. I mean, it's not entirely on him, but he's also a great actor. And then the boyfriend, who's I'm not even going to mention, he's kind of a piece of crap. But Yuri Borzovich plays this guy named Igor, whatever. He's the other great character in this movie. And he's like between her and Mikey. It's kind of like a tragedy story going on here. Without going into spoilers, this movie has a lot going for it in terms of you can watch it on a surface level and be entertained and get it, but there's a lot of subtext what's going on. There's a scene, and again, without spoiling, where um Igor asks Anona, like, do you like the car that they're sitting in? And she says, no, I don't like the car. And it's a very much of a you can read into that so many different ways, and something happens afterwards between these two, like right afterwards between these two, to where like and it's a really like vulnerable moment, and it's kind of uncomfortable, and it's uncomfortable to kind of watch. It's like you get what's going on, but then it kind of cuts in the middle of this uncomfortableness, and the movie ends. It goes to black, and you're like, what was that? And the movie leaves you feeling uh wanting slash empty. And there's just so many, I don't know. I guess that's why I don't want to call it artsy, but it's very artsy for just giving us a kind of an unresolved emotional ending. And the climax of the movie had already happened. This is like 20 minutes after the climax of the movie that we get this weird scene. I won't ramble on about this anymore, but I will say it's a good movie because it makes you think, it makes you feel, and that's what any good movie should do. It puts you outside of your comfort zone in a lot of ways. And even though it doesn't have a lot of surprises, you can definitely relate to a lot of the characters. You see the tragedy coming, even though it's a great movie when you know what's going to happen, more or less, but you're still interested. Like seeing a sinking ship in slow motion. This movie just has that going for it. It's really well directed, strongly written, great characters. Um, I mean, I didn't know how I felt about the coming out the movie, but I think if I'm giving it a scale of like, rating it like a paper, this one's hard to rate, honestly. It's not rewatchable at all. Maybe like, okay. For me personally, it's getting a B minus in my because personally not for me. I'm not gonna rewatch this movie. But as a movie, like as a in technical score, as how it compares to others movies in general out there, not to my taste. I think it deserves an A minus solid. But personally, B minus for me. I'm not going to revisit this film, although I think it was well made. And I'd recommend others, especially who are into this sort of genre, subversive and non-romantic thriller genre, to watch it. Yep. So that's my review of Anora. That's my view of Anora. Let me know what you think by comments. I guess by YouTube. And yeah, what other movies I should do. I'm going to be doing more of these. Getting into this YouTube thing is going to take me a minute. Forgive the choppiness of editing on this video, just assuming for myself. I'm going to get better. And yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Deuces.